liberal media pundits claim President Donald Trump is planning to give white people reparations. Also, Vice President Harris's campaign is reportedly $20 million in debt. But guess who offered to help her pay it? All that and more on episode number 100 of Up to Speed with Trip Simpson.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audience.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Art. A to the RT. So many niggas want beef, go to Arby's. Not too many rappers in this game that can stop me feeling cocky. Cause my flow hella stocky. Yeah, and I does this shit. Flow sick, something like when your two cousins kiss. Ew. And y'all niggas know who run this shit. They out of breath. Tell the coach I need 100 bricks. Let me cook them in the oven quick. Take them out when these percussions kick. Yeah, and it was never really a discussion, kids. Trade you to another team like the Russians did. Whoa, what a bitches that be sucking dick. Hit me up, you know I love that shit. Yeah, and it's all go when I touch that bitch. Pass it to me, watch me clutch that shit. Swish, swish.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Up to Speed with Trip Simpson. I am your host, Trip Simpson, in the building.
The king in the north! The king in the north!
That's right. And before we get this live stream, episode number 100 going off today, first and foremost, you know, we got to handle business. Let's get it.
Family moving up in the business. I know you're going to look after family.
What family you talking about, Ice?
Fuck, I look invisible, nigga.
That's right. I am not invisible. So do me a favor. If you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that share button. And if you're watching live on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, hit that like button, hit that share button. And no matter what platform that you're watching on today, please don't forget to comment in the live chat below. Let's get it. Got a lot I want to talk about today, especially the main topic being this whole debacle about President-elect Donald Trump saying that he wants to give white people reparations, or at least that's what you have most of your talking heads on the left and in the liberal media. That's what they're saying right now. All right. But I got some other things I want to talk about also. But real quick, before we get to the main topics of the show, I want to address some things that have been a bit of an annoyance to me over the past week or so. All right? I want to talk about some things that have really been annoying me. And that's for Kamala Harris supporters that are taking that massive L she took too close to the heart. All right, I want to talk to you guys. All right? I got to talk to you guys tonight because this is really getting annoying. And honestly, it's getting completely out of hand. I literally have family members who are upset and in their goddamn feelings over this Indian woman who they don't know actually willing to jeopardize lifelong friendships and family bonds because you're butthurt over an election. If Kamala Harris would have won, yeah, I probably would have been an election denier, for sure. I would be. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't start treating the people I love bunny style and start severing ties with people over Trump. Think about it. If Kamala Harris would have won the presidency, you wouldn't have heard the end of it from black folks, especially black women. You would not have heard the end of it. When she became the vice president, you never heard the end of it. All you seen on social media was black women celebrating Kamala and insulting Donald Trump. So now that the shoe is on the other foot, you can't take it now? I even had a family member tell me that I need to apologize for my statements about Kamala Harris because it hurt people's feelings. My post about Trump hurt people's feelings. But you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to be the bigger person. So here it goes. I apologize. I apologize for the fact that you're too sensitive to handle reality. I apologize for the fact that you aren't politically knowledgeable enough to not realize that this woman had no chance in hell of beating Donald Trump. And last but not least, I apologize for y'all being too naive to realize that you're stuck in an echo chamber of liberal lies.
Take the weed and leave the money now.
Take the wall and left the wall. But one thing I'm not gonna do is apologize for saying I told you so. I will not apologize for telling you that I told you so. And that's all this is about. That's all this is about. When Joe Biden won, all type of people talk trash to me. I wasn't tripping off that. I thought he cheated. But at the end of the day, I wasn't out here mad at people severing ties because of Joe Biden winning the presidency. It wasn't that serious to me. I'm gonna get my money and take care of my family regardless. But in all seriousness though, if my political views piss you off that much, if they got in your feelings that bad, then by all means, do whatever the hell you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Because regardless of my political views, I ain't never been nothing but a good family member and a good friend to all of you Negroes. So if you want to throw all that down the goddamn drain, crying and whining over some lazy, lying loser like Kamala Harris, knock yourself out. Because I promise you, if the shoe was on the other foot, it would be no real issue here with me. It would be no issue. Besides, maybe a heated argument at Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, at best. But on that note, excuse me, let me show y'all how y'all look. Let me show you what type of people are losing their mind over an election involving people who they don't know in real life. Check this out. I want to show you what y'all look like, man. One second.
With my well, it's happening. The family wants to know what I'm doing for the holidays. I'm gonna be here with my dogs and my daughter, who is of childbearing age and now has to get
Keyword, fellas, she's gonna be there with her dogs. and her daughter of childbearing age. Notice she did not use the word husband. Let's go.
An IUD at 17 years old, and I'm going to be here with my son, who is a political.
Okay, wait a minute. Did she say, okay, her daughter had to get an IUD at 17 years old? Let's go back. Let's go all the way back. Let's go.
Well, it's happening. The family wants to know what I'm doing for the holidays. I'm going to be here with my dogs and my daughter, who is of childbearing age and now has to get an IUD at 17 years old. And
what? She says her daughter has to get an IUD at 17 years old because of Donald Trump. So, instead of teaching your daughter not to be a 304, you embolden her, right? You embolden her and get her an IUD at 17. So what you mean to tell me is that if she didn't have the IUD, she'd be knocked up at 17? Like, what are we talking about here? So if she didn't have the IUD, she'd be knocked up at 17 years old. And you'd be taking her to Planned Parenthood. This is how crazy y'all look. This is how crazy y'all look, mad at us because we supported the common sense candidate. Let's continue, man.
And I'm going to be here with my son, who is a political target. And that should really tell you all you need to know about why I'm not going to be hanging out with y'all for the holidays. So fuck off. Choke on your turkey. Bye.
Her son, who's a political target. And look, let me show y'all something. Let's zoom in real quick. Let's zoom in. Her name is Trans Loving Mom. So you already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. All right, let's get to the next video. These people are going crazy over Trump, y'all. They are going crazy. Check this out.
For years. Yeah, and keep in mind, this is a very popular teacher who's been here at Chino High for years. Now, neither the parents of the kid who wore the hat or the students who got the whole exchange on their cell phones wants to go on camera or be identified. But this thing has gone viral on social media. And here's what it sounds like.
I'm pissed. People voted for freaking rapists. I'm pissed off.
It's the voice of a Chino High teacher reacting to a student walking into his class wearing a Trump hat the day after the election.
So there we have a teacher cussing out a student because of the student's political views. I mean, this is insane. Let me turn that up a little bit. This is insane. Let's go back.
The kid who wore the hat or the students who got the whole exchange on their cell phones wants to go on camera or be identified. But this thing has gone viral on social media. And here's what it sounds like.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed. People voted for freaking rapists. I'm pissed off.
You can tell by his voice what's going on there. All right?
I got that thug in love.
The voice of a Chino High teacher reacting to a student walking into his class wearing a Trump hat the day after the election.
Turn it off and tell you, go back to your freaking seat now. Go. Take the. We send security. Police room B.
So he's assaulting and attacking the student for a hat, and then he asks for security. You can't even wear, this is how crazy these people are. You can't even wear the hat of the future president of the United States. You can't even wear a political hat to school without these people losing their mind. Shout out to Holly J. Holly J says, I'm so happy for private school. The only thing spoken about the election was whoever wins, Jesus is still king. Facts. I'm with you, Holly. All my kids are in private school as well. Let's go.
So if I have a boy who has a Trump hat on, and I'm not gonna
Unfortunately, this video is real.
The president of the Chino Valley Unified School Board of Education, which Chino High is part of, says they are looking into this.
Teachers are not supposed to bring their political views, whether this is, on something else or specifically on this election. It should never happen.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I have a daughter and 3 nieces, and he raped them, and it's people are voting for him. The Christians are voting for him. Some losers.
The Trump derangement syndrome is real, y'all. This is a real disease. Let's go.
God knows what this teacher could be capable of doing in a fit of rage.
He's just one of several parents concerned about the teacher's behavior.
You cannot scream at a kid and call someone names over a political person. It's wrong, So I don't mind kids being corrected, but in a proper way, not over some political stuff.
I don't care. Fire the hell out of me. I'm fighting for my daughter, my nieces.
This dude just said, fire the hell out of me. I don't care. He lost his job over Trump derangement syndrome. Blood clot. These people are crazy, man.
They're right.
If this teacher unfortunately has to be the example of what not to do, we need to move forward and address this behavior. And then we also have an opportunity now to say, hey, no more of this. Let's bring the kids together. Let's not bring in our own personal views, and let's respect each other, whether it's political or something else. Let's have respect for each other.
All right, that's enough of that. All right, so here we have it. Now, speaking of psycho-liberals, I believe this is where they get their marching orders from, right? This next woman I'm about to play, Joy Reid. This woman is literally telling people to disassociate themselves with their loved ones over Donald Trump. Once again, over people who they don't know in real life. But we're the crazy ones on the right? We're the crazy ones. All right, let's check this out. This is a clip from MSNBC's Joy Reid. All right, let's go. 1 second, y'all. Find this damn clip. Here we go.
Or you're a woman, knowing, how do you interact with people who voted for this, right? If you are an LGBTQ person and someone in your family voted essentially against your rights, or you're a woman knowing that, this man was calling people the B word. JD Vance was literally calling Kamala Harris the trash and said, we're going to take out the trash. I know a lot of black women were incredibly triggered.
I got a question. I got a question here too for the black women out there. Why is it that if you insult a black man, just singularly, if you insult a black man, right? Let's just say the way you guys insulted Kevin Samuels after he died and while he was alive. As black men, we didn't take that personally like you hated all black men. So why in the hell is it, if you say one thing about Kamala Harris, who ain't even black, but you say one thing about Kamala Harris, now you're insulting all black women? Y'all gotta stop this ridiculous nonsense. No, we're insulting Kamala Harris. That has nothing to do with women or all black women. So please cut that out. You know how I talk about how the black card is pretty much declined because of all the fake claims of racism that niggas be out here claiming? I'm a black female card is beyond decline. Nobody wants to hear that shit anymore. Nobody wants to hear it. The Victim Olympics are officially over. I hope y'all get that. I don't know how you saw this election and didn't get that the Victim Olympics is over. The majority of the country decided to put it to rest. We're tired of it. We don't care. Let's go.
By that. And if you then meet somebody and they voted for the people who called you trash, or if you're Puerto Rican, and someone voted that way, do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up.
So I love that you asked this question because, there is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody...
So let me stop right there. So It's okay to vote for Joe Biden, who stated on camera that he didn't want to integrate his kids into a racial jungle. It's okay to vote for Joe Biden, who gave the eulogy to a Ku Klux Klan member. It's okay to vote for Joe Biden, who was best friends with Martin Luther King's arch enemy, Strom Thurmond. It's okay to vote for him. But it's not okay to vote for a man who didn't say any of these things. A comedian at his rally said these things, and he wasn't even talking about the people. He was actually talking about the trash backup situation in that particular country. But then again, I would have never made that joke. I thought it was an off-color joke, but at the end of the day, like, it's a joke. And clearly that community didn't take too much offense to it because they still voted for him in record numbers. But by her logic, you should disassociate with your family for the holidays over someone telling a joke at a Trump rally. But it's okay to vote for Biden, even though he's done some of the most racist things in history. Gotcha.
Is your family that they are entitled to your time? And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. And I actually talked to, adults as well as advising parents for children. I mean, I think, I don't think that you should force children. I don't think you should force adults to be around people just because they're your family. I think there's a level of, need to establish boundaries. And if you feel like you need to establish boundaries with people, whether they're your family or not, I think you should very much be entitled to do so.
Nonsense. Nonsense. But you know what though? The delusion never stops with this woman, Joy Reid. The delusion never stops. Here she is now going on a racist rant against white women. All right, let's go. Let me find this damn video. Give me a second. All right.
Women who may be thinking about, hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressive. Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely.
What quick question? Who the hell told y'all? And this is not a derogatory statement to all black women, right? I'm just talking about the black women who think like this, right? Who told y'all that y'all saved America? Who told you? When did you save America? What wars did you fight in large numbers? Because you voted for Joe Biden, a known racist, at over 90%, you saved America? No, that doesn't constitute saving anything. Save America? How can you brag about saving America? Look at the black community. Look at the black community, the community that you had. Look at that. Save that.
Only to save the Democratic Party coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men.
Oh, no, don't bring us into this. Don't bring us into this. Just last week, y'all said y'all didn't care about black men getting shot. Don't bring us into this nonsense. Keep it to yourself.
And prioritize Black communities, Black businesses, and that, and the Black spaces. But save America, save the Democratic Party. Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
This is crazy, bro. Complete and utter foolishness. But yeah, the crazy part is a ton of Black women are talking like this now. Now, all of a sudden, you don't want to be a feminist anymore? All of a sudden, you ain't marching no more because you didn't get your way? Yep, like I said, sounds like the same exact thing I heard some black women telling Black men the day after the election. Little do they know, women who talk like this aren't hurting anyone but themselves. I mean, her and the rest of the MSNBC cast, they've been talking so crazy as of lately. Ever since after the election, they've been talking crazy. They've been talking so crazy to the point where they have actually talked themselves out of an audience. Let's go to this article real quick from none other than the great Fox News. Let me see if I can get this article larger for you. All right, boom, here we go. No Trump bump. MSNBC hemorrhaging viewers since election day. Sheds more than half of their primetime audience. MSNBC's reliably liberal audience has tuned out the anti-Trump network since election day with a staggering 54% drop in primetime viewership. MSNBC averaged 1.1 million viewers during the month of October, but plummeted to an average audience of 736,000 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week, following President-elect Donald Trump's historic landslide victory over Kamala Harris. MSNBC's 31% drop comes as Fox News Channel's viewership grew by 61% over the same time period. MSNBC also shed 26% of its year-to-date totals, but things got even worse in prime time. During prime time, the hours of 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern, MSNBC averaged 1.8 million total viewers in October, but viewership of Alex Wagner Tonight, All In with Chris Hayes, and The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell have averaged only 808,000 total viewers since election night. The 54% drop represents that more than half of the network's viewers at MSNBC is almost down 51% from its year-to-date totals, while Fox News is up 58% in prime time compared to 2024 averages. All right? Now, that's insane. But it's not just Fox News. It's not just Fox News. It's also CNN. It says here, CNN will axe top stars in layoffs that'll see hundreds fired as ratings continue to tank. CNN is planning to wield the axe on some of its high-paid staff after dismal election ratings that cap off a disastrous period for the cable news network. No need to get all into it. We know what it is. All right? We know what it is. No need to get all into that. All right? There's no need to get into it because, as the good brother Malcolm X always says, the chickens are coming home to roost.
Those chickens will return that evening to your barnyard, not your neighbor's barnyard. I think this is a prime example of the devil's chickens coming back home to roost.
So, these people are finally getting what they truly deserve for lying to the American people for all this time. And that's what they get, man. So let me see. What we got next? What's up next? Oh yeah. I'll say this. Y'all know how I know that Kamala wasn't ready to be the leader of the free world? You know how I know? She couldn't even properly manage her campaign spending. All right? She couldn't even properly manage it. But I didn't make this up. Let's get to the video. Hold on. Let's get to the video.
And the Harris campaign now in debt, $20 million. Lindy Lee, one member of the DNC's finance committee, says she and others were misled about the vice president's chance of winning the election. Lee says she helped raise millions for the campaign and now has to explain to donors why Harris lost. Just one example of their spending. The Harris campaign spent $450,000 a day. This was on ads displayed in Las Vegas, and now staff members and vendors are worried they may not get paid. News Nation's Kelly Meyer has been following this story and joins us live from the White House with the very latest. Kelly?
Yeah, the election may be over, but the mountain of debt from the short-lived campaign isn't going away fast enough for them. The Harris campaign trying to dig out of debt nearly a week after their resounding loss, and much of the spending was on digital media advertising, polling, and travel from state to state. According to the reports, the Harris campaign spending six figures building a set for Harris's appearance on the Call Her Daddy podcast with host Alex Cooper. A source familiar with the campaign confirming to News Nation the reporting that the Harris campaign was $20 million in the hole.
$20 million. $20 million. She ran through $1.3 billion and ended up being $20 million in the hole and got blown out. She literally got blown out. She spent $1.3 billion, 20 mil in the hole, and she lost every swing state.
Blood clot.
How, bro? How? Shout out to DQ. He says, "Well, she's definitely black now. She in debt like the rest of us." Facts. That's a fact. That is a fact. All right, let's go.
After November 5th, and even though the campaign took in at least $1 billion and reported $118 million in the bank as of October 16th, they're still seeing that $20 million in the hole. Another big ticket price, the $15 million the Harris campaign spent on event production, that also went towards the celebrity performances leading up to the election, like that election eve rally with Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Ricky Martin. And Harris also reportedly paid $1 million to Harpo Productions, that's owned by Oprah. Oprah, we know, did a town hall with Harris back in September and appeared with Harris at her election eve rally in Philadelphia.
So let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. And this is why I kept telling y'all not to listen to celebrities. This was nothing but a money laundering campaign, or a money laundering scheme for Hollywood. All she did was get her rich friends paid. And now she looking dumb. See, she's like the weird kid that nobody really liked, but she came up on some money, so they let her in the group, right? That's Kamala. So all the cool kids done came, took all your money, threw a party in your house, left the place a wreck. Now your parents are home and there's nobody in sight. That's Kamala Harris. That's Kamala Harris. The corny kid who thought they were cool. That's Kamala. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me show y'all this video real quick. This is comedy gold. Let me show y'all this video. I'm going to show y'all exactly. This is exactly what Kamala Harris looks like right now.
Hello? I don't know what to tell you, Barack. I have no idea where the money went, right? $20 million? Can you tell Beyonce to give me a call back?
All right, let's go.
She can also just wire me. You know, technically she should pay me back. I didn't even perform. This Offset? I thought you guys broke up. Can I talk to Cardi for a second? Hey, girl. Yeah, listen. So here's the thing. You know, I didn't get elected.
Hey, bro, this is hilarious, bro. She sounds just like her. I didn't get elected. This is comedy gold.
You didn't help me get elected, and you said you would. So I think that, you know, you should unburden that and give me my money back. Don't hang up on me. I will dog walk you, bitch. Hello? Hey, girl. And this is Big Sister General. No, everything is fine. Listen, let me ask.
I just thought of a great idea. They already mad at me anyway. I'm about to send this video to the family group chat and really piss them off.
Ask you a question. What do you think if you know, gave me my money back? Hi, Willie. You need a lawyer? Hello? I ruined my knees for that man. Nancy, stop calling me. No, stop calling me. Didn't you retire? You got your own problems, bitch. You need to just... Okay, look, I'm sorry. I take it back. Look, listen, can you teach me about the stock market? I don't know what any of that means. Look, how about I just give you my password and you bet on some stocks for me? I'm in a little bit of a financial pickle. I guess I shouldn't have...
I'm in a bind, Nate. I gotta get that sound. Somebody remind me to get that sound. I'm in a bind, Nate. That's Kamala Harris right now. I'm in a bind, Nate. All right, let's get back to the news clip. Let's get back to the serious conversation. All right, let's go.
Yeah. And one GOP strategist putting it to us this way today, saying, quote, damned if you do, damned if you don't, giving the example of John Kerry having been criticized for still having $14 million unspent after his 2004 campaign. The strategist, though, called Harris's debt, quote, egregious, and that they were panic spending in the very end. Kelly.
So, Kelly, how is the campaign trying to make up these losses now?
Well, we know that they are still fundraising despite the loss, sending out these emails you could see asking to donate to the Harris Fight Fund program. What's interesting to point out is that the donations to the Harris presidential campaign are being partially redirected toward a vote recount effort. So when you click donate, that link takes you to the app.
A vote recount effort. Come on, bro. A vote recount effort. You lost by like 8 million votes. You literally lost damn near every state. Now you're taking people's money for a vote recount effort. Let's go, man.
Website. And the fine print suggests that the vice president's campaign might be launching a recount effort allocated to the Harris for President's recount account is where the money would go. And Donald Trump, we know, won the election with 312 electoral college votes, including in all 7 battleground states. The president-elect has since suggested Republicans might help cover the Democrats' debts, writing on Truth Social over the weekend, quote, now they are being squeezed by vendors and others. Whatever we can do to help them during this difficult period, I would strongly recommend we, as a party and for the sake of desperately needed unity, do. So no word yet if President-elect Trump has.
And my man said, and that doesn't cost very much. Make America great again. Let's go.
Look at my African American over there. Look at him. Are you the greatest?
Let's go, bro. Uncle Donnie coming through. He had to throw that in there, and that doesn't cost very much. But let's go back and read this. Let's read this tweet. Donald says, whatever we can do to help them during this difficult period, I would strongly recommend we as a party, and for the sake of the desperately needed of unity, do. We have a lot of money left, and that our biggest asset in the campaign was earned media. He says, and that doesn't cost very much. Make America great again. I don't understand how y'all cannot fool with Trump. Like, everything they say Trump is it's not true. It's not true. He's a great guy. After all the trash they sit up and talked about him, almost got him smoked twice, tried to lock him up using their office, he's still willing to help this broke bum broad pay her $20 million debt. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our president. That is our president, number 47.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? You know what I'm talking about?
Now, let's hear from one of Kamala's employees and see what she had to say about this awful, awful campaign. Give me a second. My computer moving a little slow. All right, here we go.
At all, but
Republicans lay out their agenda for a second Trump term. Democrats are still scratching their heads over the loss. And now this, the Harris campaign is $20 million in debt, having spent about $1 billion during the 90-day campaign. DNC Finance Committee member Lindy Lee calling the campaign a $1 billion disaster. And I asked her about the reckoning going on now within the party and why she's deciding to speak out.
I feel as though I'm one of the only voices speaking out. And
real quick, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you guys real quick. We're going to get back to the video. If you're watching live on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button. And also, if you're enjoying this comment, or even if you're not, give me your opinion in the live chat section below. Also, if you're feeling generous, hit the super chat or the cash app. Let's go. Let's go.
if we do not confront the lessons of election night, it's going to happen over and over again. We're going to keep losing. If we don't recognize a rightward shift of America, we are also going to lose. We have to have a careful financial accounting of what exactly happened. How did we possibly blow through $1 billion in just 3 months? It's just astounding, not just to me, but to many of my fellow donors. I've been speaking with them on an hourly basis.
This woman is the head. This is not fake news, people. This woman is the head of the DNC campaign chairman or whatever she is. She's something at the DNC. And she said this was, you guys heard what she said. I can't remember her exact words, but she said it was a $1 billion disaster. Okay, a $1 billion disaster. And y'all think this woman, Kamala Harris, would make a good president? She blew through $1.3 billion in 2 months. 100 days. That's insane. She blew through all the money, didn't track the money, and now she's $20 million in debt. I mean, the jokes write themselves. The jokes write themselves.
Basis, people are just completely shocked and just craving answers. A lot of them are sending me messages of support, asking me to stay the course and to keep asking. And we just haven't really gotten any explanation from the campaign as to what happened. And I say this, it pains me to say this. This is very hard for me to say because these are my friends. These are my, these are people that I've worked with for a long time. But if we don't have any accountability, how could we possibly move forward in an effective way, not only to serve this party, but serve our country?
I feel your emotion, and I think it represents a lot of people in the country who woke up on Wednesday morning and who were shocked by the results, certainly given how close it seemed in the polls, Lindy. You say you were promised Harris would win and that you believed it. Now you say you think you were misled. How so?
And real quick, I just want to remind everybody, we're 45 minutes in. So if you're watching on Instagram, It's going to cut off in about 15 minutes, but feel free to join us over on YouTube. I've pinned that to the top of the Instagram chat. Join us on YouTube at Trippin' Ain't Easy TV, and you should be able to find the live from there. All right, let's go.
I think I was trying to say the same thing. We were just misled. We were told decisively. And again, contributing to a campaign does not guarantee an outcome. That was not our assumption at all. But they told us 100% that we were going to win. We didn't demand this process. There was no demand of that process. They willingly gave that reassurance. And even on election night, I had someone high up whom I just found out yesterday is leaving. He told me that we were going to win Iowa. This is ruby red Iowa. And I looked at him very quizzically and I said, "Are you sure?" And he just smirked. And so, this is just an example of the hubris in the final days of the campaign. And it's just, I wonder what happened to all that money. I'm looking through the financial reports. $1 million went to Harper Productions. That's Oprah. She said.
And we're going to stop that right there because I want to say something also. I want to say something. And I'm not trying to beat up on the sisters today at all, right? But I think this needs to be said, okay? You can't be out here on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter claiming that you care nothing about black men getting killed in the street now because we didn't vote for Kamala. You can't say that and disrespect us like that when this woman, y'all literally raised, what was it, $4 billion for her, $4 million for her on Zoom in one night, and look what she did with your money. Look what she did with your money. Look what she did. She did the equivalent of a nigga coming to you saying, "Oh yeah, let me get your tax return so I can flip that, and I'll give it right back." Black women, Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party took your tax return, told you they were going to flip it, and you're still sitting there waiting for them to come back. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But shout out to the sisters that knew better. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. But anyways, we're going to move on to the next topic, and that's going to be, that's going to be this whole white reparations nonsense that the left-wing media is pushing out there right now, okay? Now, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a video from Don Lemon, then I'm going to play a video from Joy Reid, and then we're going to see the actual video that President Trump made, okay? All right, so let's start with this Don Lemon joint. Where's this at? Where is this at? Okay, here we go.
Reparations for white people?
And getting...
Hold on.
There.
Oh my gosh, Donald Trump wants reparations for white people?
And getting their money's worth. Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that persist in explicit unlawful discrimination under the guise of equity will not only have their endowments taxed, but through budget reconciliation, I will advance a measure.
Real quick, shout out to DQ. He says, it's only left-wing websites. No credible source has posted it. Of course not. But almost every black person I know that voted for Kamala Harris is sending me these videos. They're like, look, see, you voted for him. He gonna give white people reparations. First of all, even if it were true, I wouldn't care. Second of all, it's not true, and we're gonna get to that.
To have them fined up to the entire amount of their endowment. A portion of the seized funds will then be used as restitution for victims of these illegal and unjust policies that hurt our country so badly. Colleges have gotten hundreds of billions of dollars from hardworking taxpayers, and now we are going to get this anti-American insanity out of our institutions once and for all. we are going to have real education in America. Thank you.
Reparations. But for white people. This is America. You voted for it.
Like I said, these people are desperate. Let's get to the Joy Reid video. Hers is just as dumb. Here we go.
Furthermore, I will direct.
Y'all listen to this.
Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools.
Well, it's the same damn video. Let's just get to her commentary.
America.
Any comments on that, Trump blacks?
So look, I find it very interesting, right? That people like Joy Reid and Don Lemon and also Roland Martin, right? They promote all of this hoopla and all this misinformation on Trump. And now they're crying about white reparations. When these are the same people that when Yvette Carnell and Tariq Nasheed were pushing hard for reparations back in 2019, trying to make it trying to make the Democrats actually do something for black people, right? She was one of the main haters. Roland Martin was one of the main haters. Okay? Let me show y'all something real quick. Let's go back in time real quick. This is from Roland Martin. Roland Martin. A reparations bill ain't going anywhere, ever. That was Roland Martin. That was Roland Martin. This was on Joy Reid's show right here. Let's go.
We have to pay a little bit more close to.
The sound is a little distorted because it looks like somebody recorded this from their TV screen, but this is from Joy Reid's show.
A particular candidate. So these kinds of things that are happening at this moment, we have to pay a little bit more close attention to it because there is nuance. But there are also identifying factors. For example, right now, from the Black Identity Framework, there's a new sort of hashtag and or identity that's in their bios called ADOS or DOS, which is standing for Descendants of Slaves. So it's the indication that they are someone who was born in, as a descendant in the United States, who's representing Black America and has the vernacular and the language that people would believe is someone who's a part of our community, who's either debating about Kamala or debating about Booker because that's who just announced, and trying to say we know who's the most, who's Black in America, and making sure that they're, sort of talking in this vernacular that makes it look like that they are in support.
Black American.
And
I did see a huge uptick in.
All right, so that's the conversation they had where they basically called those people Russian bots. Now check this out. This is from Joy Reid's show. This is what Joy Reid actually thinks or actually thought about the reparations movement, the Black reparations movement. But now she wants to be mad about the alleged white reparations. But let's look at what she said. All right, she said, report disinformation targets and actors. List of disinformation campaigns: ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves; Blexit, which was the conservative movement; Tangibles; FBA, Foundational Black Americans. Of course, she says Black Voices for Trump, and Walk Away. Right? And so this is what I want you to note about this chart that we're looking at right now. If you look at the ADOS and the FBA, their entire movement was about the Democrats delivering something tangible for the demographic that gives them over 90% of their vote. And this is who Joy Reid identified as Russian bots, even though they were not Russian bots. And then let's look at the other side of the screen. It says list of issues targeting Black voters: reparations, criminal justice, climate change, immigration. So this is what they're telling you, that the list of the things that Black voters want, when in actuality, it's probably just reparations back then. It was reparations. I don't give a shit about criminal justice. I don't care about climate change, and I don't care about immigration. Really, at this point, I don't care about reparations. It's a pipe dream at this point. But my only point is that Joy Reid is faking like she actually cares about the topic of reparations. And what's even crazier to me, you know what, we'll get to it. We'll get to that. What I want to do real quick is I want to show you the video that Joy Reid and Don Lemon were just playing of Trump allegedly saying he was going to give out reparations. That video has been up on Trump's website for the past 6 months, at least. And it was under his Agenda 47 plan, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to look at the complete video and we're going to put it in context, okay? So what we're going to do, give me a second, let me find the video, and then we'll get to the commentary, all right? All right, here we go.
For many years, tuition costs at colleges and universities have been exploding, and I mean absolutely exploding, while academics have been obsessed with indoctrinating America's youth. The time has come to reclaim our once great educational institutions from the radical left, and we will do that. Our secret weapon will be the college accreditation system. It's called accreditation for a reason. The accreditors are supposed to ensure that schools are not ripping off students and taxpayers, but they have failed totally. When I return to the White House, I will fire the radical left accreditors that have allowed our colleges to become dominated by Marxist maniacs and lunatics. We will then accept applications for new accreditors who will impose real standards on colleges once again and once and for all. These standards will include defending the American tradition and Western civilization, protecting free speech, eliminating wasteful administrative positions that drive up costs incredibly, removing all Marxist diversity, equity, and inclusion bureaucrats, offering options for accelerated and low-cost degrees, providing meaningful job placement and career services, and implementing college entrance and exit exams to prove that students are actually learning and getting their money's worth. Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination.
Stop right there. Now, for some strange reason, that part wasn't focused on in the videos that Don Lemon and Joy Reid played. Let's go back.
To engage in racial, direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that persist in explicit unlawful discrimination under the guise of equity will not only have the...
So, let me stop right there, because a lot of people are trying to say that this is only directed towards white people. First and foremost, heterosexual black men, what you have to understand is that DEI initiatives and affirmative action has been no benefit to you anyway. It has been no benefit to you anyway because, first of all, if you look up any large-scale study on DEI or affirmative action, the biggest beneficiaries from these programs are white women. Okay, it's white women, gay white men, immigrants from certain countries, other women of other ethnicities, black women, black men, and then Asian and white men. So we're pretty much bottom of the barrel of the whole DEI hierarchy, and it's not that program is not worth it to us at all anyway. It wasn't worth it. It never was, and it never will be. That's why I'm glad they're getting rid of it. But anyway, let's get back to the conversation. So he clearly said, first he said, we're going to get at institutions that practice racial discrimination. And then he said, we're going to get at the institutions that practice diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I think that's important. I think that's very important because basically he's telling you he's going to make the system fair. You're not going to be able to racially discriminate, but at the same time, we're not going to tip the scales for people who aren't as qualified just because of race. If there's a testing process and an elimination process for a school or for a job or for whatever, only the highest people who test should be allowed to either be accepted in the school or get the job. Unfortunately, if it happens to be all Asian people, then it is what it is. If it happens to be all white people, then it is what it is. If it happens to be 3 Asians, 2 white people, and 1 black person, it is what it is. America's built on a meritocracy. It's not built on your feelings and what you think should be fair. Equal opportunity does not mean equal outcome. And that's what a lot of people seem to skip when they're talking about the issues of diversity. Equal opportunity is one thing. Everybody should have a fair chance. But we all shouldn't have the same outcome, especially if you don't work as hard as me. If you can't run as fast as me. Think about what if EEO was in its current state was in the NFL? And everybody had to get a chance to try out for it. What if they said, oh man, you know what? There's too many black guys on this team. We need some white guys, man. Sorry. Even though he can't run as fast as you, he's going to be running back now because there's too many black running backs. You niggas would lose your shit. You would lose your shit. But like I said, at the end of the day, Trump said he was going to enforce, he said he was going to take action against schools who do both. Action against schools who practice racial discrimination, as well as action against schools who are doing the unfair DEI system. And what he said was he's going to fine these institutions if they continue. Meaning if they don't stop what they're doing once he gets in office, then they will be fined. And the fees, and the money collected from those fines will go to the victims of those who made the complaint, which makes sense. It's called restitution. He didn't say anything about reparations. It works the same way in court. As a matter of fact, he was talking about court. That's why he used the word restitution. He said he's going to use the Department of Justice to file civil rights cases against these institutions. And if they're found guilty, he'll take the money from the fines and pay them as restitutions to the victims, the same way any other victim gets paid restitution in court. This is not reparations. These are legal court terms that you people are now spinning and turning into something that it's not. And really, and let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. He offered Black Americans a form of reparations a long time ago. He offered it a long time ago, and you Negroes still decided against it. You still voted for Joe Biden, who was giving you nothing, at a 90% rate. You still voted for him at a 90% rate when he offered you the platinum plan. He offered you that. So y'all really got to cut the malarkey, man. Cut the malarkey. I'm going to tell you, man. if it's one thing that just really grinds my gears about all this fake ass outrage I'm seeing from the people on the left and a ton of black folks. None of these clowns have anything to say about how the Democrats have refused to consider H.R. 40, which is still a nothing burger in the grand scheme of things. It's just a study. But at least it's a start to the reparations that y'all claim that y'all want. And then look what they just did to the black reparations movement in California. They iced it straight up. Like I said, Joy Reid was one of the biggest haters of reparations for black Americans because she ain't no black American. She tried to call it Russian bots. So y'all gotta cut this nonsense out, man. I really do. Joy Reid. Now it's Joy Reid and this crazy liberal media looking crazy out here crying about reparations. Like I said, black folks totally ignored Trump's platinum plan that specifically targeted black Americans in an economic plan that included about $500 billion in funding. You niggas totally disregarded Trump's plan. You spit in his face and voted for the Democrats at over 92% when he offered you a specific plan. Matter of fact, let's pull up the platinum plan. Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the platinum plan, guys. Here's the platinum plan. The platinum plan. Let's go. Opportunity by achieving historic levels for black Americans, employment levels of black Americans, as well as increasing access to capital for new businesses. President Trump has been committed to ensuring all black Americans can achieve the American dream. Security. By signing into law the celebrated First Step Act, President Trump has brought common sense criminal justice reform to the American people for the first time in decades, while ensuring that our streets and communities are safe for families and business owners. So he already did that prior to making his plan. He did the First Step Act, prosperity. As the first president to provide long-term funding to historically black colleges and universities, this administration continues to seek immediate and generational advancements for black Americans. Fairness, as demonstrated through his actions to initiate investment in opportunity zones, as well as address health disparities, wage gaps, and necessary education reforms, President Trump works every day to advance a fair and just America for the black community. Okay, so what's in the $500 billion platinum plan? What's in it? Sorry, let's go over it. What's in it? What's in this platinum plan? 3 million new jobs for the black community, creating 500,000 new black-owned businesses, increased access to capital in black communities by almost $500 billion, safe urban neighborhoods with the highest policing standards, commit to working on a Second Step Act, access to better education and job training opportunities, give black churches the ability to compete for federal resources for their community, bring better and tailored health care to address historic disparities, an immigration policy that protects American jobs, advance home ownership opportunities, and enhance financial literacy in the black community. Boom. And like I said, I'll put the link to this in the description. I'm not about to read all this, but y'all get my point. And don't get me wrong. Like I said earlier, Trump is not offering white Americans reparations. But if he was, what would be the issue? The left is 1,000% guilty of ignoring the needs of black Americans, and most black Americans are guilty of brushing Trump's plan to the side. We voted for Biden at over 90%. So yeah, ain't nobody trying to hear none of that BS. Trump is doing what's best for Americans at this point. So if you're a legal American and you're willing to work hard and reach certain goals, Trump is the guy for you.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? You know what I'm talking about?
But if you want something for free, maybe he isn't. But anyways, I'd advise you guys to go through the whole Agenda 47. It's on DonaldJTrump.com. He's talking about flipping this whole shit upside down and finishing off draining the damn swamp that we call the federal government. But on that note, what I want to do is, what time is it? 11:41. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and close this out. I got too much shit to do today. Maybe I'll be back later. I might do a call-in show if anybody wants to call in and just discuss the state of politics in America or in the black community or whatever y'all want to do. We can do that. But anyway, for those watching live, thank you for the support. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and select all. And if you're watching on the playback, do me a favor. Whether you agree, you disagree, or you're indifferent, leave a comment in the comments section below. Also, if you're feeling generous, hit us on the Cash App. That's $ Trippin' Ain't Easy TV. Or you can hit the super chat at the bottom of your screen, right by the live chat. Or if you're watching on the playback, hit the heart sign with the $, and donate to the show. If not, it's cool, whatever. But anyways, for myself and the rest of the crew here at Trippin' Ain't Easy TV, peace out. Catch you on the next one.